as you said, you start out hitting them pretty good.
Yeah.
That's your best one you've hit today?
I like that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Not hit like that in a golf course.
Well, you're nice and relaxed. You're not hovering over the ball forever thinking about all these swing thoughts. You're just you're trusting yourself more, and maybe you don't do that on the course.
I don't. There's times I sit there and I do it like this and look.
Yeah, I think you ought to just freewheel it. There's your pull, and that wasn't over the top.
Now my question with the driver, I heard you're always supposed to take everything straight back, but I don't know. I don't do that.
A golf swing is a circle. It's not a straight line. It's a curve. It's an arc.
Right.
It would be wrong to have this club go straight back. So that's what they mean when they say straight back. I do not want these arms coming off the chest.
Okay.
I want you to have a pure rotation. Just turn. Just rotate. I want you to swing. Your golf swing needs to stay on a circle. You need to have what I call a stable axis golf swing.
Okay, what about the wrist? Now I heard you go this wrist is supposed to break.
Absolutely. They are releasing that down, so they're going to hinge and unhinge. Right, boom, right into the ball. It's the best drive you've hit.
Why can't I do that all the doggone time?
That was even better than the one before.
The right hand, does it matter if it's on top or towards the side?
It definitely matters. The subconscious mind, when it looks down at that golf ball, it's thinking, well, I just want to hit it with the palm of my hand. I don't want to swing sideways. I don't want to swing this way. I want my right hand in a position as if the plane of the face of the club is in the same plane as the palm of my hand.
Okay.
So I can just simulate this becomes an extension of my palm. And so when you grip it, if I were to open my hand up, it's right there. If I'm over here like this, that's going to cause me to open the club face at impact.
Okay, so this is not good.
Well, I don't know. See, this bone from this knuckle to this knuckle is pretty much pointing straight down. That's the same place it would be pointing if you open your palm up. Okay, just want to get that. Now take the right hand off, okay, and grip it again, and then hold it up so I can see underside of it. Overlapping, good. I like that. I'm first going to look at you in the impact position because it's the most important. Everything the ball does, how far it goes, how high it goes, how much it spins and curves, is a direct response to the laws of physics in motion at the brief moment of impact. On the left is Tiger hitting an iron. This is video I took at last year's US Open. On the right is Grant Wade hitting the driver. Grant was a PGA Tour player during the 90s and now is one of the top instructors of tour players. Grant's teaching partner is a good friend of mine, Joe Mayo, who lives in Las Vegas. Grant was considered by many as having one of the best and most fundamentally sound golf swings. At impact, they both have the majority of their weight on the left side. In fact, the average pro will have 85 to 90% of their weight on the left side at impact. I've drawn a red box from the center of their ankles to the top of their head, and you can see that the red line off their left foot is passing right through their belt buckle, showing how the center of their mass is right on top of their left foot. They both have extended arms through impact. Their elbows are close together and not separating.
Having extended arms and weight forward allows them to control the low point of their arc of their swing. When hitting the iron, this fundamental allows the placement of the low point to be in front of the ball so that they hit the ball first and then the ground, producing the maximum compression of the golf ball. These fundamentals also allows for the highest level of consistency in controlling the face angle and club path during impact, so that you in turn have the highest level of consistency in hitting whatever optimal ball flight you want.
The purpose of swing analysis is not to change the look of the swing just to make it fit some ideal swing model. The sole purpose is to change the negative ball flight that is impacting your score. Once a ball flight error begins to occur too frequently, you then must identify the part of the player's swing causing the club to be delivered to the ball in the wrong position. You had mentioned that your directional problem with the irons was a pull and that most of your missed greens were to the left. That means the starting direction of the ball flight is too far left, which means the face angle of the club face is also too far left at impact. So as I look at each position of your swing, I'm looking for those missing fundamentals that correlate to delivering the face angle too closed at impact. First, let's look at the impact position. I'm comparing your swing to Grant Waite. Now, I had mentioned that the average pro on tour has 85 to 90% of their weight on their left side. The reason they want to have their weight to the left side is that they want to have the low point of their swing arc in front of the golf ball. And one of the ways that they accomplish this is by getting their weight to the left. One of the things that occurs during the swing arc is that the club face at some point, either at impact or after impact or before impact, at some point your club face is aiming too far to the left. As a general rule, that begins to occur after the club face passes the low point. Before the low point, the face tends to be aiming out to the right. After the low point, the face will tend to be aiming more to the left. So if you swing in a way that puts the low point behind the golf ball, then your club face will arrive at the low point before it hits the ball, and there's a chance that the face will be aiming left when it goes past the low point and then hits the ball. So getting your weight more to your left side at impact will help contribute to improving your face angle position and start reducing the number of pulls. Now, the other thing that is evident in looking at your impact position, all of the pros, as you can see, Grant has that left arm fully extended and it's in a straight line with the shaft of the club. That's the radius of his golf circle, and the length of that radius determines the size of the circle. And he has a stable radius and therefore a stable size in his circle, so he's going to bottom out in the same depth every time. But if that radius length fluctuates, then you're going to hit it fat and thin all the time. So another thing that'll help you with shot consistency is to hit with an extended arm, because then you would be consistent with the radius length of your golf circle. And if we can just get that arm extended, then you're going to bottom out in the same place every time and then have a lot more consistency, not only hitting it more consistently solid, but consistently deliver the club face at the angle you want. Now, as you continue forward, I'll take to the ninth position. This is when the right arm is parallel to the ground. You can see how Grant's elbows are still very close to each other. Both arms are fully extended. He's almost stretching out to the target. And as you come through, you can see how your left elbow is pulling behind you right there. I can see your white glove above the right hand. Grant's left hand is underneath his right hand. His wrists have crisscrossed there, but he's kept his elbows close to each other. The main reason you're having difficulty keeping that left arm straight is it's because of the way your right side of your body moves. you'll notice that Grant's right pocket, if I drew an arrow straight down, is right on top of his left foot. His belt buckle is facing the target. He has rotated his hips towards the target. He not only has shifted to the left, but he's turned to the left. And so once I can get you to move your hip and knee and shoulder to the target, once the right side can rotate more to the target, that's what's going to allow your left arm to stay extended longer. Here's Tiger in that same ninth position with his arms extended, elbows close to each other, wrists are crisscrossed, he's on his left side. I have special PGA credentials that allows me inside the ropes of any PGA Tour event, and this was at the 2012 U.S. Open at the Olympic Club in San Francisco. And I've got a lot of pictures of a lot of the pros that played in that. And so this is one of the videos I took of Tiger. But you can see how he's extending that right arm out to the target. And he's turned those hips. Here's Rory McIlroy. You can see how extended he is, how close his elbows are together. It's almost pinching his elbows close to each other. Both arms are very extended. We're going to look at some of the positions prior to impact to see what you might be doing that makes it difficult to arrive in a good, fundamentally sound impact position. You're fairly evenly balanced between your feet at the beginning. That's not too bad at all. Now you have a very nice extension in that left arm, just like Grant does. You have a little bit of a shaft lean. So you're basically putting the low point in front of the ball with your setup. But when you get back to the ball at impact, you're not in the same position. You do not hit the ball with your hands in front of the ball. You hit the ball with your hands almost right on top of the ball because you're on your back foot when you hit the ball. Now, because you have such a really good extension in that left arm at the beginning, you have measured yourself to the golf ball with that length of radius of your golf circle. This length right here is what you want to arrive at at impact. You don't want to measure yourself with that and then have an arm that's doing this when you hit the ball, because that's not going to be able to reach out to where the bottom of the ground is, and so you are going to hit a lot of thin shots. Now let's take you back into the backswing as I take Grant back. Keeps his head right there, his left hip, left shoulder. As he gets to the 3 position, this is when the left arm is parallel to the ground, and he has a right angle in the shaft of the club and his left arm and right arm. He still has more weight on his left foot than his right foot. He's almost like leaning against a wall there. And then as you go back, you can see how you sway to the right quite a bit. You definitely, when you get to the 3 position, when this arm, you've hinged your wrist okay, but you are really way too far on the right side, and so it's going to be much more difficult for you to arrive with a lot of weight on your left side when you have so much now on your right side. So one of the things that we need to reshape is your backswing so that we have what I call an early turn. Now we're going to look at your 8-iron swing from down the line. I really like your setup. It is really solid. I like the fact that your hands are just kind of right underneath your shoulders there. You're just kind of hanging very comfortably there. I like that setup. You've got a good spine angle, good posture. Everything there looks really, really good. You might just slightly, just a fraction, stand just a little taller, but I'm not even sure that's the right move. It's certainly not the top of my list. I would certainly leave that alone for right now. There's other things we need to address before that. So now we're going to look and see if you do have that little over the top move. I'm going to circle your left hand and just kind of track it through the swing.
There's that over the top move. You come up on this line and then come back down on that line. And that's what causes then your path to go across the ball. When you go across the ball, you'll either hit if the face is on the same line as that path, then you're just going to hit a straight pull. If the face is slightly open, then it'll have a little fade to it. If it's a lot open, then you'll have much more of a slice to it. One of the things that causes an over the top is not effectively using the lower body. We need the lower body to make a move on the downswing. And you basically, the only move you make on the downswing is with your upper body.
So you're just rotating around a single axis and not a moving axis. I don't want your golf circle swaying.
Okay.
So it's you're just turning right from the get-go. Right from the get-go, you're turning. There's no slide and then turn. You're just going to turn right away. Let's try that thought for a few swings. Just an early turn. Let's hit a couple balls with that early turn thought.
Hey Ken, I'm going to look at your driver swing a little bit. And on the left was one of your early swings before I did a lot of changes. And it's a swing out of golf ball. And the one on the right was when we were working on this early turn and trying to reduce the sway. I'm going to take it back until your left arm is parallel to the ground. That's the 3 position. So right now your left arm is parallel to the ground. And you can see how much you moved your head out of that box. It's completely out of the box. So you've really moved all your weight onto that right leg. Now for the swing on the right, just going to take it back to the 3 position when the left arm is parallel to the ground. So that's about the same place, but you can see that you did not sway as much to the right leg. You stayed a little bit more on the inside.
That was big too, and that killed.
That was in the fairway. If we.
That's right. High drop. Good.
Oh man.
You're not going to hit 4 irons like that.
No, I like that. I like that a lot.
You're not swaying near as much as you were when I first saw you. Oh man, that's pure.
Oh.
I know how to fix that 4 iron. Put it in the garage.